So, good morning. Before I get into our topic, I just want to study a bit about the background of our site and where our site is going to be. Poblacion Makati, that's where our site is. Mostly everyone knows where Poblacion is. And you guys probably know that it's like a place where people can drink. So it's actually comparable to that of BGC or Katipunan. But those are in different cities. So Poblacion is Makati, Katipunan, as you would like to say. So what's special about this is that it is heavily commercialized to the fact that it has different building zones for different types of buildings and for different uses, different purposes, which means that there are a lot of people present. That means there are also a lot of different cultures. So our selected site is in Katipunan Avenue, which is right there on the right side of the screen. It's standing a little red dot or box, you can see. So there's not really a lot of greeneries around here, but there are some. And the water is quite far, so it's not really relevant. That said, there are a lot of differences, different cultures, diverse people. We need to look for something similar to all of them that can help us or help everyone be united in some sort of way. So before that, we want to show you our sun path because later on we're gonna explain how we use this to our advantage with our design. And yeah. So going back to what I said earlier, our differences can also mean that we also have some similarities. So despite all those differences, what do you think is common with all the people that goes to university? Well, first, they are in the Philippines. So basically, for however long they're gonna be here or whoever stays here in the Philippines is basically a Filipino. Sinapang bangus is one of the special dishes here in the Philippines. It's basically smoked fish and is processed with smoke and salt water. So how is tinapa actually made, or how does process be that of the smoked fish? So first, we debone the fish, and then you descale it, and then you clean it. Basically, you just have to keep it ready until it's cooked, until you have to get it cooked. Then once the first step is done, you dry the fish under the sun or whatever in intense temperatures they are available to you. And then next, you have to soak it in saturated brine, which is the mix of salt and water. And you have to do this for about 1 to 2 hours. And then you have to dry it until the pellicle is formed. And the pellicle is something that goes on top of the skin or the scaled fish. It's like a bump on it that lets you know that it's ready to be smoked or it's ready to be processed into being a tinapa, not just a bangus. So to smoke it, it has actually different levels of smoke, and like it's up to you whether or not you have to cook it until it's like really burnt or just the exact amount, which is golden brown. And this is ideal actually. But conventionally, it is cooked in a grill using charcoal, but then we realized why charcoal isn't good and why wood is the better option. So wood generates more heat than charcoal, and it has cleaner fuels, which means if it has cleaner fuels, then it's more efficient and safer for us to consume. So with the different types of wood here, can actually provide different kinds of flavors. There's the mango wood and the mahogany wood and the lychee. Which of these, which all of these are going to be available when you buy our fish in the restaurant. So this gives us a unique type of way of eating tinapa, and it's not like the usual tinapa that's grilled with charcoal, but it's now in wood with different flavors and different types of wood. We really want this to be different. So for the cooking method, we're gonna use a brick oven, and the brick oven is gonna be brick from the bottom up to the top, which is very different from all the other brick ovens, since other brick ovens are brick at the bottom and just an exhaust up to the top like metal, but this one is gonna be all bricks. So the brick oven method is economical and efficient, and it produces healthier food since we use wood and not charcoal. So from the smoke we gathered from the brick oven, we don't want this to be of waste. That's why we thought of a system that would actually turn the smoke into energy. And this is where we introduced our hybrid system, which is generating electricity or energy from smoke itself. For the architectural sheets, after looking into the topic and how it's cooked or how it's done, we now think of how to let you know that you are really Filipino and you are in the Philippines, not just from the food, but also from the experience that you get from our restaurant. So first we have the floating pods. Floating pods is basically semantic, where you get the feel of being in air or like floated. So that's the idea of tinapa. You just hang it around and just suspend it to smoke. And yeah. Next we have the jalousies. Since our building is obviously gonna be very concentrated with smoke, we need to have proper ventilation for the smoke and the air to circulate. Next, we have the nipa grass for our roofing. Since again, we are in the Philippines and we are all Filipinos, that's what we want you guys all to feel. This, so we're gonna use nipa grass as our roofing, just for the sake of being Filipino. With an additional element of glass flooring with the pond. So here we decided that we add the pond to the side, and this serves as like metaphor that we are near the waters where seafood is usually served. And then what's unique about this is that it's not just any kind of pond. It's the kind of pond that extends to the VIP area of our restaurant, where the people eating in the ground floor will be suspended to glass. And then beneath the glass is water from the pond. Here, from the idea I said earlier that we have an additional VIP area in the pond. So here, if you guys remember from what I said earlier, our building is facing the southwest view, which gave us boost with our design, since we decided to add this exterior or outdoor dining, and we could use that sunlight to our advantage. That's why we decided to come up with this outdoor dining as well. So it is how to look like in a section view, and this also for the floating pods. In this, I just have to show you what our building looks like in different views. Thank you, and I hope you learned and enjoyed our presentation.